All right, so today we're going to be going over just very quickly a few details on how to use the profiles database to kind of create your own organizational system within the database and taking the information from the database and using it to organize yourself locally on your own machine. So last month, our topic was making your interactions with candidates a little more meaningful using the information that we provide on all of the positions. We have a wonderful team that interviews the physicians and updates their profiles within the profile database. So we kind of talked about how to use that information to enhance your communication when you are reaching out to candidates and when the candidates are responding to your communications. And a couple of questions came up just about a few of the things that I went through regarding adding notes and flagging candidates in the database. So today we're just going to take a closer look at some of those tools and how they can help you create your own organization within the database. So I'm going to jump right into a physician search, and I'm just going to do a basic search. And the first thing we're going to talk about is notes. So if I just click on a physician here, I do have the ability to add notes to as many physician profiles as I need to. These notes are stored in the database under your login, so they'll always be there. You'll notice there is a profiles note, so that is a system note that our interviewer has added just to give you a little additional information about the candidate. But I also have some notes here that I've added based on my communications with this candidate, Kelly. So anytime you add a note, you can edit it just by clicking on it, and you can add more detail to the note if you need to, or you can create a new note and just add some information about the candidate. Okay, and just save that there. So, you know, ideally, you could have a long tally of notes about this candidate, making sure that you are keeping track of all your interactions, any additional information that you personally receive from the candidate, you can add it to their profile here in profiles and store it that way. So once we have our notes, we can just use this print detail option here. And the print detail is the same thing as the print CV option. Print CV will give you all of the information that you're seeing here in the profile, except print detail is going to include your notes. So that's the one that we're going to look at. So if I go ahead and just save that here, and if we take a look at that, we'll get all of her information, and it will include all the notes that we've entered or the system notes. So this is nice if you want to share this contact maybe with one of your coworkers or run her by a superior or something like that. You can save this PDF locally to your machine. You can create a folder, have multiple folders. You can pull this information and kind of sort it on your own so that you can kind of have a local system in conjunction with what you're doing within the profiles database. All right, so I'm just going to go back to my search. And let's go back to Kelly. So along with the notes, we also have the option to add tags. And the tags are cool because they allow you to create your own filters when you're in the physician search area and use those to either include or actually pull only those candidates or exclude them from your searches. So for example, one of the ones that I like to use is just talk to. So that's a simple tag that I can put in. And when I go back to my physician search, and one of the things that I always try to encourage is, profiles is a living database. We are constantly updating it when we reach out to physicians and when we get updates from them. So anytime you're going to begin a new project, a new email blast, or a new phone list, you do want to come back into profiles and rerun that search again and make sure you're getting the freshest and the latest and greatest information. So you can use your tags to kind of include or maybe exclude people that you've already interacted with, or you know that they're not a viable candidate, or whatever how you want to categorize them. So for instance, I just marked that candidate. I already have her. I'm ready to do a new search. I can do talk to, do not tag as, so that she'll be excluded from any of my future searches, and I don't have to worry about doubling information or exporting candidates that I already have information on and don't need to revisit. So that's just a cool way that you can create your own filters outside of what we offer you based on your interactions with the candidates. One of the questions that came up about the tags was, how can I kind of clear this list up? Is there a way to clear out these tags once I no longer have a use for them? And there is. The way that you delete the tags from this list is just to make sure that the tag is not assigned to anyone. So I have my talk to tag. If I pull back up that candidate, and there's her tag, once I delete it and close the profile and go back to my search, that tag will no longer be available. And I know I have a lot in there, but I promise it's gone, the talk to. So as long as the tag is not assigned to anyone, it'll go away and it won't show up on the list. And then if you need it again, you just recreate it on the candidate's profile. Okay. I don't think I mentioned, but if at any time anyone has any questions or any comments, please feel free to add it to the chat or the Q&A area. Don't mind jumping right in. Finally, I just want to reiterate, use the reports from the profiles database. There's a lot of information that we can give you on the positions that you can take out of the database and pass on, again, to your coworker, to anybody that may need to review it. Maybe someone doesn't have access to the database. You can export these reports. Doctor's Details is the one that is going to include all of the notes, all of your personal notes that you added to any candidate. So the only thing that differs is if you are in the candidate's actual profile and you print detail, it'll just be this one candidate. But if you come out to the list and you have your full search and you click Doctor Details, it's going to print the details for everyone in the search. So this is a pretty lengthy list. I'm not going to go ahead and hit it now, but you can get the details and the information for everyone as one running list. Okay, and then finally, just one little tip or trick that I want to share with you. I always try to incorporate outside tools with things that you can use from things that, or from information that you get from profiles. So a cool, neat little thing that you can do is once you get these reports, they are in PDF form, but you can use a cool little online tool to convert the PDFs to Word documents, which makes them more editable or easily editable. So I will gladly share this link, but it's a free online tool. You can easily Google PDF to Word converters, but I'll share this particular site with you. But it's just a matter of selecting the file. And I have a profile here that I've already done or already exported. And I'm going to just select Word and hit convert. And I should go pretty quickly because that should be a small file. Well, either way, I have one here. So once that's finished, it now created a Word document from that PDF with my notes. And again, this is something that I can share, and it's now editable where I can add my own additional notes. If someone else, you could potentially pass this around, have everybody give their input and then give it back, or, whatever you might need to do or need to edit. It's just an easier way to get it into a form that's a little more malleable than a PDF. All right. And that is pretty much all I had for you today. Does anyone have any questions or concerns or want to see anything again? Out of there. All right. Well, I don't see any questions coming through. So I will just thank you for your time. I will send out the recording after the session is finished, along just with that link and some notes from the session. I also want to encourage if anyone has any ideas or anything that they would like to see talked about in one of these monthly webinars, please feel free to email me, respond to the post-webinar follow-up, or email me or contact me and let me know your session and or your idea, and I'd be more than happy to work it into a monthly session because I'm sure if you have the question or if you have the need to see something, someone else does as well, and I'd be more than happy to turn it into one of these lovely monthly webinars. So thank you again for participating, and if no one has anything else, I wish you all a happy holiday. Stay safe and healthy, and thanks again for coming.